Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Put a one in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Put a one in the chat to hear the sound of my voice. Good morning. Welcome everyone who's joining the live. This is outside the federal courthouse in New York City, Patrick J. Monahan Courthouse, and in the building, Sean Diddy Combs is in jury selection right now, and his attorneys and the government is right now, as we speak, going over the jury instructions with the jurors, and they're being questioned. Yesterday, we had the opportunity to review the transcripts from yesterday's hearing, and hopefully today we'll have this similar opportunity. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, stand by. As you see, ladies and gentlemen, it is raining in New York City right now. We have a live feed outside the courthouse, and yes, we are in New York City. We are in the dry spot. Make sure you're locked in. I expect to be doing some interviews sometime today. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we do have uh, the transcripts from yesterday, and you guys have the opportunity to also go on our channel and look at our transcript read from yesterday. We did not go through the entire transcript, ladies and gentlemen. However, there is a lot to unpack, as it is going to be a lot to unpack today. We will be able to give you the uh, verbatim what occurred inside the courtroom, as you should be able to see that sometime today. But our number one priority is to protect the equipment. We must protect the equipment. This is a very expensive trial, and we don't want to damage Big Bertha. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we are protecting the equipment. When it gets dry, we'll we'll be outside. As you know, the Manhattan is the city that never sleeps, and quite frequently there are many people that come down to the downtown Manhattan to protest and or hold speeches. So you will hear a lot of noise in the background, and that's a result of being in the city. This is the city that never sleeps, and people know that media is out here today covering the Sean Diddy Combs trial. So this is a great opportunity to be seen and heard. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, come on downtown and get your shine on. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am allowed to be inside the courtroom, outside the courtroom, around the courtroom. Why would you think I would not be allowed? The trial starts. The trial actually starts Monday morning. Well, the jury process, Vardia, is very important. We must be able to strategically plan out the coverage so you, the people, will be able to have a full front row view of what's happening. And even if we are in the overflow room, we want to make sure you guys have an opportunity to get all the details. But we'll be in the actual courtroom. We're good there. We've taken care of all that. We are good. We've been doing this for 30 plus years, so make sure you know that we have you covered. This is a live coverage from Hip Hop Inquirer. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, picking the jury is the most crucial part of the start of the trial. If you don't get the right jury, you don't get the right outcome. So yes, this Vardia coverage of the jury selection is very important, because if you pick the right jury, you pick the right outcome, no matter what side you are on. And yes, Mr. Sean Diddy Combs has two jury experts sitting in the courtroom with him. Two jury experts, and they're tasked with being able to read the jurors' responses, body language, the way they fill their questionnaires out, and seeing if they're telling the truth, or at least gauge whether or not they're telling the truth and trying to get on this jury. We did hear yesterday, as we did the reading, that there were some jurors, or one in particular, who believed that what she saw was pretty damning to Mr. Combs, and that was a image of Cassie Ventura laying on the ground while Sean Combs stood above her. She said that was damning. However, she also said in the same breath that she could be fair and impartial. Well, some argue that the fact that she had came to the conclusion that Cassie Ventura laying on the ground with Sean Diddy Combs above her was damning. If she goes into the jury room with that mindset, then she has already, ladies and gentlemen, she has already formed an opinion on Mr. Combs. While we have not seen the full video in its entirety, nor has she believed that that image of Cassie Ventura laying on the ground was damning to Mr. Combs. And yes, for the question asked in the chat, am I getting transcripts, ladies and gentlemen? You know I had the transcripts from the day from last Friday and yesterday. So don't ask me if I'm getting transcripts. Ask me, how can I support you? How about that? Yes, thank you, Bronx, checking in. The Bronx, New York City. Bronx is in the building. Yes, Bronx is in the building. A fellow Bronx native. I support my city, New York City, the city that never sleeps. Yes, Sean Diddy Combs has a major footprint in New York City. So this is why this trial is so important to those who have known Mr. Combs for over 25 plus years. I'm being one of them. And yes, I want to make sure that Mr. Combs, as well as the alleged victims, get justice. We don't know what that looks like. We don't know if there were willing participants. Mr. Combs has said that the relationship he was in with Cass Ventura and all the extra stuff that they were doing as related to freak offs was consensual. While Cassie's going to tell a different story to the jurors. Cassie's going to tell a story of how she was coerced, forced, and perhaps sex trafficked into being in this relationship. Some will argue that that may not fly well because she stayed in a relationship for many, many years. But there's a Dr. Hughes who's expected to testify for the government who can explain away why people stay in relationships this long. Yes, this trial is going to be the biggest trial in hip hop. And yes, I will be here from gavel to gavel, from start to finish, until the final decision has been rendered in this case involving the United States government and Sean Diddy Combs. Yes, I'm Dennis Byron reporting live here in New York City.
Thank you, Ben. Much appreciated. Yeah, more same thing. I'll see you around. All right, see you around.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind those who don't know, I've covered Sean Diddy Combs since the late 90s, ladies and gentlemen. I've covered Sean, Mr. Combs. I've covered, that's Simone right there in the camera. That is Simone Boosie. She is with TMZ. Yes, one of the people that I mentored early on in her career. That is Simone Boosie or Celia Simone. Ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you shout out Celia Simone as well on Twitter, and make sure you follow her coverage. She is the voice behind New York City TMZ coverage, and she was one of my mentees, by the way. Okay, guys, I'll be coming in and out. So if I go silent, it's because I might be getting messages. I might be getting an update. I might be getting something that is very important that I have to read. So I might be popping in and out. So don't get mad at me if I don't continue the flow, because sometimes I gotta go. One other thing, ladies and gentlemen, I put a call out on Twitter. If you are a great reader and you would like to participate in the transcript read, please make sure you send an email to info at byronmediagroup.com or send a request to news at hiphopinquirer.com. Yes, we are looking for great readers who would like to participate in the transcript read today. And for those who don't know, I started my career in New York City. My studio was literally blocks away from the courthouse. And I want to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, I know the city like I know the back of my hand, ladies and gentlemen, and I know how to move in the city. So make no mistake. That is shout out to Celia Simone. Shout out to Celia Simone because she's doing a great thing. I remember when she called me and said, Dennis, I think I want to work for TMZ. I said, Celia, well, I'm not going to tell you guys what I told her, but yeah, she's one of my mentees. I appreciate being able to help her in her quest to be great, and I open the door for people. I don't have a problem with it. It's the respect that you show to people that open the door for you. I have no problem with helping people. If you are serious about this, you ready to get your grind on, and she is a grinder. She gets her grind on. She is, when I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen her growth. I've seen her grow. She is a hustler, and a hustler is not a bad thing. A hustler is a good thing. I'm a hustler. This is what I've been doing for 30 plus years. I have no problem telling you this, that we hit the concrete jungle when we hit the concrete jungle. We know where we need to be at, and we be there when we have to be there. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the show. We are going to be here until conclusion of today, and then we will at some point bring in some guests, and we're going to talk about what is happening in the courtroom. So let's real quickly talk about what was said yesterday, real quick, until we have someone coming out. What was said yesterday by one of the prospective jurors is that he had some information about Mr. Combs by way of his wife, who was a person who deposed him in the incident that occurred in New York City when at the city college where individuals died. Sean Combs was deposed by his wife in a civil case. So how will that play out in this case, and whether or not he can be impartial? Because remember, people lost their lives in that case. We had a multitude of people that lost their lives. I think about 9 people. I remember it was like yesterday. So you have someone that is familiar with Mr. Combs and not in the most pleasant light. So will that person be able to sit on this jury and render an impartial and unbiased decision in the case? We don't know yet. That's why Mr. Combs has 2 jury experts in the building right now, because they're going to make the most crucial decisions as it will lead to an outcome, the outcome that they want in his case.
say a little bit about this. He is notoriously known for giving people bad deals. Like, that's what I was telling Harvey. Like, my family is really industry adjacent, and I grew up hearing so many things as a young woman. And one of them was he gave bad deals all the time. Like, he would show up, beat people if they asked for royalties. Yeah, real stories. So the culture behind it isn't that great. But we know people who honestly got their starts. Unfortunately, but most people who got their start with Jimmy never really amassed too much. Cassie was a blossoming star, had all the was his money. After getting the win, she was trying to revamp her career. She was a breakout star. Gorgeous, huge. She's working with a producer who was cultivating her sound, and his sound was kind of like breaking through the static at the time. She had everything. And getting with him, he brought her star up, but she quickly only became known so I think it changes just right. Always at the dance. I don't remember, but he has so many moments. He's don't be honest. He is talented.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen up real quickly, real quickly. The block party is open. The block party is open. So if you're here and you're here for nefarious reasons, you will be blocked. Plain and simple.
So, which is his business, but there's always been that. Well, he's seeking for this person, that person, but no one ever, solidified. So then when you have people saying, "Well, I'm not really not surprising." So it's so many, if they keep messing around. Hello, like, right, like what the heck? Right, mortified, like, I'm here with you. But it's that I remember, like, for so many years, he had a party that was, he had the lifestyle that was whatever. Any given day, people show up to his house, or anything, just the people. It was wonderful. So it's not negativity, right? Kind of surface that everyone's we won't say we've been wearing different shirts every day. Yeah, he's been with Diddy for 20 years. How many odd jobs. This odd job recently. So you wanted to spotlight me. So now that I told you you're going to be happy. Yeah, because that is a legit like just getting his shirt to just peeping. You look interesting. And if you've asked the question, I'm sorry. young person. Why is like Texas doing that? Oh, it's yes, it's because you
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen up. Listen up.
you need to
I want you guys to understand something. This is very important. I have people
It's
that
okay. You
work
got it.
for me
That's
and they are on task. You don't have to worry about where I'm at. Just know that I got you guys covered. I have you guys covered. Understand that. That's very important. I have people all over the place. So calm down and sit back and enjoy the show.
like 5 or 6 years. I can't think this. It's just like 10 out of 100. Usher had his first song ever. He has it like and it's called Think of You, and I'm pretty sure yeah. But we're talking about we're talking about like I remember just thinking this year dance is called Think of You. And now this well, we were but Usher's mom like and they quickly ended with and his mom was like, "Kids." Right. So there's but no one's I'm curious to see who's gonna show this system. Get out of here. That's crazy. Yeah, because right. They definitely would have to be but it definitely would have to be someone who's like attraction because the younger ones don't. So they don't care about the old ones unless they start fighting. Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna have Celia walk by the steps. Stand by.
your stays dry a little bit. It's been wet all morning. Keep you off for the whole week, please. Looks like you're set up at least with the.
I only have to do it for today.
All right, cool.
Somebody else tomorrow.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Who made that comment? It's no cameras in the courtroom at all, ladies and gentlemen. There's no cameras in the courtroom. You will not see a picture, any audio, or anything but a sketch coming from the courtroom in my daily transcripts. There's no cameras in the courtroom. This is not state court. This is not city court. This is the United States Southern District of New York federal courthouse. If you are caught with a camera inside the courthouse, you're going to have major problems. Even the marshals can't not use their phones unless it's for emergencies. They have a lockdown in the United States federal courthouse. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, calm down. And by the way, if anyone is in the chat promoting another platform, they will be blocked from this platform. So if I see that happening, they will be blocked from this platform. So if you see someone disappear, it is because they did exactly that. It is because they do that. I saw that happening the other day when someone was promoting someone's platform and someone's channel. You don't do that. You don't do that. That is social media disrespect. You don't promote someone else's platform, someone else's chat, because now you're the opt. You are the opt. Hey guys, did you see my coverage on Friday? Did you see me covering the case on Friday? Did you see me with a camera inside the courtroom? Absolutely not. I don't break the federal rules. It's there for a reason. And until the United States Supreme Court, which is headed by Justice Roberts, there's no cameras in the courtroom. It's just what it is. The judge, however, can allow phones in the courtroom, and they've allowed up to 5 people who have covered SDNY, Southern District of New York's courtroom on a regular, because they go through a strenuous background check, and they've been covering the cases for countless years in that particular courtroom. So they have every federal courthouse rules are different as it relates to the protocol in place for media. Eastern District of New York is different than the Southern District of New York. Eastern District of New York has a process for media that is different than the SDNY Southern District of New York. So I want you guys to understand, each judge in those courtrooms also can lift a certain rule if it's appropriate. Because this case is so high profile, they have I respect what the judge is doing in this, because they know who they can trust as far as shielding jurors, making sure that everything that is said in the courtroom is put out in a responsible manner. So with that, there are only certain individuals that will be in the courtroom. I will be in the courtroom. I'm not in the courtroom today, but I will be in the courtroom. I have someone else in the overflow room sending me updates. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, enjoy the show. The beauty of what we have over here is that we get the daily transcripts, so you guys won't miss anything. We have the dailies. That is the official court reporting from the transcriber. We have the dailies. I can show you one of them right now, as a matter of fact. Let me bring one up real quick. Booyah. But this has to be watermarked. Stand by for an update. Stand by. Stand by for an update. Stand by.
Next round. Let's go so far. Pretty quiet. Very quiet. Did the family show up? There's some guy who shows up with a t-shirt that says, "We're at a party, not members." David Martin. Sorry, outside. 8 is me. But you think you're going to be assigned like to any around like the trial? Oh yeah. All right, but I'll be in the front. All right, I'll see you around. All right.
Drew the short straw, huh?
Yeah, totally.
So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the potential jurors have already violated the judge's instruction. This juror 143, read news coverage of the jury selection while going home. Now, what part of do not look at any media as it relates to the case? Well, she violated that rule. And as a result, she is bounced from the jury process. That was an instruction that the judge gave. And everyone knows that when the judge gives this instruction, you don't violate it. So this is a interesting development in the case. But these things happen. These are normal people. These people don't probably never sat on a jury before. And some of them may not feel that using their phone. This is why sequestering a jury in this case might be necessary. It might be necessary because these jurors have access to their devices. Most people use their devices for everything. Very few watch traditional TV. So this may be a problem, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, this juror has in fact violated the judge's order. So let's see how this plays out. So I don't know if this juror was trying to get kicked off or not being selected, but to tell the judge that you watched who was being selected on your smartphone through a news feed is a blatant disregard for the process. We know what Judge Glanville would have did with this juror. I just don't understand this. Are they really trying to not fulfill their civic duties as a juror? I don't know, ladies. I don't know, gentlemen. I don't know. I mean, that jury could have simply came in the courtroom and said, Your Honor, I think he's guilty. That wouldn't have gotten, that jury wouldn't have got picked. But to tell the judge, you watch the news coverage, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a violation of the judge's instructions, and you can hold that juror in contempt. Because how do you police that type of behavior in a high profile case? So the judge, in my humble opinion, should police that and hold that person in contempt. Because if other jurors, or sequester the jurors, sequester the jurors, sequester the jurors, take their phones away. People are on the subway. I'm riding the subway the other day, and people are using their phones in the subway system in New York. Something I was surprised. I said, wait a minute, well, when I got under the tunnel, it went out, but people use their phones for everything. Everything. The phone is a extension of the person's body. So how do you control this situation from happening again? And Mr. Combs deserves a fair trial. And people are searching the coverage from the media, and this is what it is. And Judge, I hopefully these lawyers for the defense will argue for sequestration for these jurors, because this right here is a blatant disregard for the process.
Usted no se le WhatsApp. Ay, su vida.
With a show of hands, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you believe these jurors should be sequestered or held in a hotel until the conclusion of this trial? Put a 1 in the chat if you believe they should be held in a hotel until the conclusion of the trial, or put a 2 in the chat if you believe they should be allowed to go home. What is your thoughts on this? Because you may be one of those jurors that will have to serve, and will you be the one who breaks the rules, or will you be the one to follow the rules? I'm just curious to know what's your thoughts on this latest development in the case where a juror has violated the judge's instructions and watch news coverage. Your thoughts?
They seated any jurors yet?
Stand by for another update. Stand by. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the prosecutors are not happy right now. They are not happy because attorney Mark Garagos, who has the podcast with Harvey Levin, Two Angry Men, the judge and the prosecutors are now, well, let's just say the prosecutors are arguing that Mr. Garagos is violating the rules that was given to the other attorneys by not making public statements because he has a side gig, and that side gig is Two Angry Men. He was in the court on the first day of jury selection where he sat behind the other attorneys representing Mr. Combs and basically consulting with them. But now he's able to go to his side gig and talk about what's happening in the courtroom. The prosecutions the prosecutors are calling foul. Why is he allowed to have a side gig speaking on this particular case when he is in the courtroom, but now he's not Puffy's attorney per se, but his daughter is. So that they say that's a conflict of interest. And I kind of would agree because if the rules apply to the 7 attorneys representing Mr. Combs, then they would apply to him because he is an extension. He is an extension of Mr. Combs' team. If he's not, why is he in the courtroom? Why is he in the courtroom? So the judge is going to have to make the ruling on this, and likely this may be a slight admonishment to the attorney, Mr. Geragos. And I like Mr. Geragos. I covered Mr. Geragos on several cases. One in particular was the one where Chris Brown had a case in Washington, D.C. I covered that many years ago. So I had a good understanding on how he moves in his cases. And he's a high-profile attorney. So whatever he says is going to get picked up. So now you have not only 2 angry men, now you have some prosecutors that are not happy in what he's doing right now. So let's see what the outcome of that will be. So stand by. Okay, someone is saying that the word violate is a strong word as it relates to the juror. I'm going to say she violated the judge's instruction. If the judge has told you you cannot look at news and media accounts of the trial, what would you call that, ladies and gentlemen? She had a boo boo. Did the juror have a boo boo, or did she violate? You know how to, your kids say, "Oh, Daddy, I made a boo boo." No, I think you did more than a boo boo. I think you violated. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did she have a boo boo, or did she violate?
Yeah, like skinny. Hey, how's it going? Samson.
They wanted your card.
Who did?
The office. Do you have a card? Yeah.
I don't
You had
know.
on the blue suit yesterday.
Yeah.
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 What's
Okay,
your
Lord, can I
contact
get your
information?
card?
I don't have one.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
I
take
do, but my
info
cell
and
is
text me.
not. Hold on a second.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm leaving out on a flight today. But
Shout out to my dear friend Celia. Celia,
4,000 followers.
there's Celia right
I
there.
love that.
Like
That
700,000.
if I call her phone right now, she can say, "Dennis, what do you want? What do you want?" Let me call her right now. Hold on. Let me call her right now. Hold on. No, I ain't gonna do that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Okay. What did they?
They're LA based.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's only
I'm
my
trying to figure out, and I might do it with my followers, but like support the campaign.
She's gonna look at her phone. Watch this. She's gonna look at her phone. Watch this.
For yesterday, covering movies.
I love it.
Yeah, so I'm really,
I mean, but you should.
and I was on with you guys when because I was on TNT when the prosecutors came to the house.
Right.
The prosecutors came to your house?
I'm sorry, I'm not. Private investigators, the same ones that harassed Tony Busby, came all the way to my house in LA to tell me to basically stop making the videos I was making, and they said if somebody's paying me, they would pay me more to stop. So it's kind of crazy.
What's your social media handle?
Secret Service Sam on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm gonna forward your information right now to him.
Okay.
So that he has it.
I'd love to.
Um, Ryan.
Yeah, that's my plan. I realized like I really gotta come back here throughout. It's doing so much for
Yeah.
She got-
traction.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. Dennis, let me call you back.
all right, sounds good. Sounds good.
See, I mean, I could maybe see who he is. I have to put the air by the like 3. Yeah. I mean, my flight's like 3:40. I mean, it's
All right, guys.
The flights I'm playing out in New York, so I'm like, Lord.
This is real time, ladies and gentlemen. This is real time. This is real time.
You guys or something that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna forward your information right now.
Okay. Yeah, because that's my plan. I realized like I really gotta come back here throughout this thing. It's doing so much for
Yeah.
the traction, you know. Like,
Yeah. I'm happy to hear that. Dennis, let me call you back. So that's running, and people gotta watch me figure out how to do it.
oh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I have eyes all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. I have eyes all over the place. Okay, let me explain to you guys what you're looking at. This door is for the attorneys and staff. The other door is for general public. And this is the exit door. This is the exit door. So there's a door going around the corner is where people enter in. So if you go through this door, you are a employee here or part of the courtroom staff. Weather is getting better. Weather is getting better. Shout out to MMPD Finest. She is in the building. Yes. Listen, I had to put a few people on timeout. I had to do it. I'm sorry. I didn't really want to do it, but I had to do it. They were just doing it a little too much. I'm sorry. Stand by for an update. Stand by for an update. We are also live tweeting, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure you are following me on Twitter, X, at Mr. Dennis Byron. So we are tweeting as well. So for those who are watching, we are tweeting. We are everywhere.
Hey guys, TMZ. I mean, probably not. It looks like.
You never know.
I keep getting messages from New York, like, dude, at FAA, they're not making it sound fun to travel out of New York today.
Yeah, why can't they automate the aircraft? That seems like the easiest thing in the world. The flights themselves are already technically crazy.
So you said we'll be out at July. Is it
Or
possible?
whenever they take lunch.
I mean,
Yesterday they went at lunch. I mean, he's inside.
oh, right. Yeah, do you mind? Do you want to just text it to me?
Yeah.
And I'll be with you.
Hey, like to come out.
Fuck this whole fucking trial. The Polo ain't doing shit for them.
So what happened?
He just let this fucking astrology fucking doctor, pardon my French. He just let this fucking pathology, fucking surgical pathologist, answer number 10. That his son got beat up and the phone stolen from him. And then the judge asked him to, and this is Judge who? Iran Supermunion? Something like that? I spelled it Supermunion. Yeah. How long ago did that happen?
Oh, my God. Oh, no, that was a juror, right?
That was number.
Psychologist.
Yeah, that was juror number 143, 149.
Well, you hear that, ladies and gentlemen. Another juror number 149. Stand by.
Juror number 143. Number 146 was after, but he's no call, no show. And then was 149, which was just testifying on the stand.
So you have jurors that don't even show up. Oh, they're going to send the marshals to get them. No call, no show. They're going to send the marshals. Oh, we from New York. We dropped the F-bomb, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have virgin ears, you might want to go somewhere else. We dropped the F-bomb. We New Yorkers. Frankly, my dear, we don't give a damn.
They got a store here. Good to know. Good to know. Yes. I'm so mad. I wish you would hire me as his consultant. JW.7 LLC, May 21st, 2021, 6. He should hire me as his personal consultant. Because I swear, I asked Mr. Nicolo yesterday to focus just directly on this case. And I told Mr. Steele, I said to him, right here, Mr. Steele, Mr. Nicolo was down there. Everybody ran after him.
And Nicolio.
Just focus on this case. Just eat good food and focus on this case. Don't worry about your kids, nothing. They okay.
Well, where was she when I was spending all that money at the Carnegie Deli?
That's the first mistake today. I meant to keep strikes. And so far, we only have one strike. I wasn't keeping strikes because every time I found a strike, they strike them out. Just the jurors. So I was like, oh, I had confidence till just now that Mr. Nicolo, because I didn't say nothing out loud. That's why I think that they can hear us in the overcrowding. Because I ain't say one word. I let them figure it out themselves. That when I said about the government could have rebutted what Mr. Nicolo said, we could have kept one of them jurors.
And if we
next time she started rebutting, and it was a fair one between the two of them. This time I didn't say one word.
Oh, you're saying a lot now.
And then Nicolo was, I bet he
and if we
heard a peep. I said not a thing. And he blew. Oh, they kept my lighter. You have a lighter? They threw all three of my lighters out.
Oh, she need a stogie right now. She lit. She need a stogie.
Our national epicenter of disgust. Excuse me, do you happen to have a lighter?
Oh, she trying to light one, ladies and gentlemen. She trying to light one. You know they smoke weed downtown Manhattan. They don't stop. They smoke. Well, they don't be smoking outside that federal courthouse. That might be a different result, but they smoking weed downtown. Give her her cigarette or whatever. Oh, next week, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you it will be epic. Epic. Oh no, that's not the stalker. No.
Hold on. Did you get dismissed? Did you get dismissed? No? Are you a juror?
No.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you. Hello.
Hey, Celia, listen. Real quickly. Is there going to be a storm? Is there going to be a storm today? What's going on?
I don't fucking know. I mean, it's bad out here, but
hey,
I don't know.
Hey, listen. You're doing a great job. Keep doing what you do. I'll see you shortly.
Oh.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, are you in the area? What's going on?
Well, I'm close. The key,
First of all, I need your opinion since you're calling.
okay, go ahead. Hold on a second.
All right.
Hold on 1 second. Go ahead.
I just went to show some things for fun. Like I said, why did come see you? Why what did it?
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right, stand by, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on the call right now. Stand by. Just getting the tea. We're getting the tea over here, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting the tea. Stand by. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that is my well, I ain't gonna tell you who I was talking to, but I think you guys who have been listening can figure out who I was just talking to. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it is a very busy day around the courthouse, and there's a lot of activity. And I'm going to give you guys an update in about 3 minutes. So stand by. Stand by.
We still gotta go to the metal detector and we still gotta get on the elevator. Oh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's an update. So, the audio we heard just a few minutes ago by someone who was in the overflow room in the federal courthouse, where she talked about quote unquote juror 148 and the issue that that juror may pose for the case. Well, it's actually juror 48, and this juror had wrote on her questionnaire and asked should she be impartial to Mr. Combs. She said essentially that Mr. Combs can buy himself out of anything. That, ladies and gentlemen, got her booted from the jury selection process. So this is why the voir dire is so important, because people will write something on a paper document, and then when brought in front of the lawyers, he or she will have to explain those answers. And in this case, this juror was very clear on her belief that Mr. Combs had enough money to buy himself out this situation. Now, we have to also understand that there are many people that are going through this jury process that does have a preconceived notion about Mr. Combs, coupled with the fact that this case has been covered extensively by some of the biggest medias in America. So there's going to be a problem, in my opinion, to find that perfect juror, if that's even possible. Many people know Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs has a legacy in New York City. He has been one of the most prominent figures in entertainment for the last 3 to 4 decades. So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, this process is crucial. This is the crucial part. I tell everyone, testimony is important. Good lawyers are important. Having a fair judge is important, but you must have the right juror. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our stream has ended. It has ended, and it will be resuming in the next 30 minutes. So stand by.